Flow into gratitude as you watch, because one of the most expensive mistakes a human being can make is to fight symptoms while protecting the cause, and this single error destroys individuals, destroys businesses, destroys governments, destroys markets, destroys families, and destroys entire generations, because most people do not solve problems, they negotiate with them, they decorate them, they postpone them, they manage them, they talk about them, they write books about them, they build industries around them, but they rarely uproot them, and whatever is not uprooted eventually returns stronger, because reality has a brutal rule: the root always wins against the surface, and science understands this, because science does not ask what is happening, it asks why it is happening, and then asks why again and again until it reaches the underlying mechanism, because removing symptoms without removing causes is merely creating temporary comfort, and psychology understands this, because anxiety is really the problem, avoidance is depression, is really the problem, hopelessness is fear, is really the problem, interpretation is, and every breakthrough begins when attention moves beneath appearances and reaches the operating system generating the outcome in the first place, and marketing understands this, because people do not buy products, they buy emotional resolutions, they buy certainty, status, belonging, relief, transformation, and every great marketer knows that whoever identifies the root desire controls the conversation while everyone else competes at the surface, and entrepreneurship understands this, because fortunes are rarely built by solving visible problems, fortunes are built by solving invisible bottlenecks, the friction beneath the friction, the inefficiency beneath the inefficiency, the unmet need beneath the obvious demand, and this is why extraordinary entrepreneurs often appear to predict the future when in reality they simply noticed a root cause earlier than everyone else, and leadership understands this, because weak leaders react to events while strong leaders diagnose systems, because events are temporary but systems reproduce events, and if you want different outcomes you must redesign the system producing them, and nowhere is this lesson more brutal than the stock market, because the market punishes emotional reactions and rewards structural understanding, because price is a symptom, liquidity is a symptom, volatility is a symptom, headlines are symptoms, but beneath them are incentives, capital flows, psychology, expectations, and behavior, and the trader obsessed with symptoms becomes emotional while the trader focused on causes becomes strategic, and over time strategy defeats emotion, because reality does not reward intensity, it rewards accuracy, and law enforcement understands this too, because there are moments when compassion requires strength and when tolerance toward destructive behavior becomes cruelty toward the innocent, and every functioning society eventually learns that order cannot exist if consequences do not exist, because rules without enforcement are merely suggestions and principles without discipline are merely preferences, and the greater good itself depends on this understanding, because the greatest act of service is not making people temporarily comfortable, it is making systems sustainably healthy even when that requires difficult decisions, because cancer is not cured by negotiating with cancer, corruption is not removed by accommodating corruption, and self-destruction is not transformed by becoming more comfortable with self-destruction, and perhaps this is the deepest lesson hidden inside every meaningful achievement, that progress begins the moment a person becomes courageous enough to stop treating symptoms and start confronting causes, because every addiction has a root, every failure has a root, every financial problem has a root, every leadership problem has a root, every societal problem has a root.